Hey everyone, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a collective energy reading video for Pluto going direct on October 3rd. It is October 2nd right now, so we are currently in that whole like shift energy. So let's be real about it. Pisces, maybe Pisces have been particularly affected by this energy. Gotta love that when that happens. Pluto being in retrograde, it has been a time and a period of reflection about the shadow aspect of ourselves. Now we're looking at, when it comes to our shadow, it is the parts of ourselves that are a little darker. I was talking earlier in one of the videos about how it reminds me of the story of Persephone and how she had to spend, I believe it's 6 months out of the year, with Hades in the underworld. And in that, it reminds me of that whole idea that, you know, she had to go into the underworld and understand what it was like living in darkness and living with something that was dark. But the darkness loved her. The darkness loved her light. It loved the fact that she was human. It loved everything that she was. So I feel like it's this energy of really coming to love and understand and accept the darkness within us, but not to allow it to control us. Now, that being said, it can be tough. I mean, especially if you haven't done the work, especially if you haven't gone within. It's intense. I mean, when we really start waking up to what it is, and let me back up because it's 4 months out of the year, not 6. So anyways, fuck it, I want to say 6. I mean, I know it's 4, but I just want to say 6. I want to keep it at that. Maybe it's because Pluto's been retrograde for about 5 or 6 months. But anyways, when we haven't accepted or explored why we do the things that we do, whether it's self-sabotage, whether it's addictions, whether it's obsessive behaviors, whether it's just being addicted to the darkness, it can control us and it can rule our lives. So I feel like this time period for which we can utilize it to go within and really understand ourselves on the deepest level possible so that we can emerge from it with a new understanding and really move forward in our lives and let go of the things that we do to ourselves or to other people that create these obstacles or barriers. I think we really can embrace life to the fullest, because then we can enter each day with knowing that, okay, let's say, for example, let's say we're looking at addiction issues. What triggers the addiction? Is it the feeling of guilt? Is it anxiety? And where was that caused? Is it not giving a shit about yourself? Is it feeling like you're doomed to fail? Once you can really address that, you can move forward and you maybe not make the decision to use that as your crutch anymore. Maybe it's using more productive things, and in using that productive thing, you can start growing a new chapter of your life where you feel successful, or you don't feel like a total failure, or you don't feel like you have to succumb to using things as distractions. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a quick look at the overall energy for what it is that's coming to the surface, what's going to be happening now that Pluto is going direct, because I feel like once it's going direct, it's going to be a really beautiful energy. I think that there's going to be a lot that we can embrace wholeheartedly. I think it is a time of unexpected things, whether it's surprises or whether it's finding things out that really allow us to just let go and move forward. So let's see here. Show me the energy for the collective with Pluto going direct. We have the Five of Wands, internal struggle. We have the Five of Swords, more struggle. Maybe it's the struggle becoming externalized. Maybe this can also be the energy of how we hold on to our pain and how we push others away with that pain. Yeah, I think we're moving out of this whole energy here, right? Maybe through the internal struggles, we're trying to find peace and really understand why we do this. Why do we push people away? Why do we hurt ourselves? Why do we hold on to our pain instead of using it to help us heal, to find the truth, right? I mean, a lot of it could be due to uncertainty. It could be due to fantasy. It could be due to anything with the moon. I think, too, a lot of times it really is a lack of being connected to our intuition. And maybe that's being highlighted at this time as well. You know, I will say first and foremost, I have been experiencing some pretty weird shit in terms of not only what's been happening with my ability, but it kind of transcending to a different place. And I really do feel like sometimes I'm kind of trapped between these two worlds. And you know, just kind of, it's almost like tripping into it. Like I'll just be doing something and automatically experiencing sensations or seeing something or getting some form of a message when there's a certain person next to me. It's very strange. My dreams have gotten incredibly strange. So let's say too that if you're having a hard time doing the work, if you're having a hard time looking at it, maybe your dreams have been revealing it to you. Maybe you've been having strange dreams connected to the things that need to be healed. Because we do have the sun coming out now, so that is clarity. I think this is the truth kind of coming up and helping us heal. I really do. With the fives kind of, even though we have a 5 at the top and a 5 in the past, I do think we're moving through these changes to create more stability. And with the moon, that's 18, which equals 9. So yeah, I think we're wrapping up cycles and completing things, especially if it's around illusions. Maybe there's lies that we tell ourselves to hold ourselves back. You know, maybe that's how our shadow dictates and helps us hold on to things. Let's pull one more card here for the 5 of Swords. Yeah, man, that's a lot of 5s. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I love this, sorry. This is why I love tarot, guys. And it fully aligns with what's going on. So, what we have here is we have very difficult situations in terms of really allowing ourselves to grieve possibly the things that have happened to us in the past. There could have also been a resurgence of very painful memories throughout this past 6 months, or painful or difficult situations that have really made us face who we are and maybe the choices that we make that cause those situations. Whatever this is, 5s are changes. It is a very difficult energy. It is an energy of conflict so that change can happen. It's almost the boiling point, right? Like something has to change. And I believe that what it is it's really allowing us to cut free from the things that really hold us back in life, the things that make us feel bound and chained. This is the underworld. Here's Hades right here. It's really coming out of Hades or the underworld's grasp and being able to move into the sunlight. You know, it's re-emerging from the underworld. It's coming out of the cave. And I think once we do that, it's almost like, even if we're not fully through it, right? Like, even if there's still some work to do, I feel like we're embracing the uncertainty with this whole new level of love, or this whole new level of emotional understanding where we can really release this. We're letting this go. Even though there still might be some interesting emotions attached to it, we're just letting it go, because I think there's this understanding of needing to move on at this time, and like in the 6 of Swords. You know, getting this mental clarity here on what our world has been. Stepping out of the challenge into the healing, finding the truth so that we can move forward. And so, I mean, all of it is surrounding the past with the Six of Cups. But it's a choice. You have to make this choice to leave that behind. Because at some point you do have to heal. And I think in a lot of ways, most of you out there have done a lot of healing. I think that a lot of you have released and let this stuff go. Ten of Swords underneath that. High Priestess in reverse. Now with the High Priestess in reverse, I do feel like there's still some things that need to be revealed to you in order to help you heal. I think those things are going to come in time. I will give a very brief example and not really get into all of it too much here. I recently had someone contact me, and the situation was over a decade ago. They wanted to discuss something that occurred that was very traumatic for me in that experience. And to be perfectly honest, I had zero idea of how much emotion was actually tied to the experience until we actually talked about it in detail. When we talked about it in detail, it's almost like all of the memories of the situation flooded back in hyper vivid Technicolor, real time, fucking 3D, as if I was there. And that was difficult. So much emotion came out of me. I actually experienced really intense depression for about 3 days because I honestly felt like every moment of the day I was being thrown back into the experience. Even if we weren't talking about it, because we just talked about it in that one moment, haven't discussed it since. But it's this thing where I feel like with the High Priestess in reverse, it's similar. It's almost like in time, things could be coming in to help you heal or to help reveal that piece that does need to be healed. So I don't necessarily, I mean, look, we spend our entire lives healing shit. And honestly, that's all up to you on when you want to heal it. Sometimes you have to have another person come in to help facilitate that healing. Sometimes you don't get that opportunity at all. But either way, it's always in steps. We can't expect it to get done overnight. And to be perfectly honest, I think it's important to heal things. I think it's important to look at how these things do impact us in our lives. But to be honest, if we were all constantly healing 24/7, I think this world would be a shit show. Because it is hard work. It's deep. It's intense. There's a lot of emotional response to it. So let's look at some clarifiers here. Let's clarify okay. Let's clarify the Five of Wands here, please. Yeah, High Priestess. I think there's been a lot of internal struggle going on. I think for a lot of you out there too, part of the healing has been about listening to yourself and why did you not trust yourself? Or why did you hold on to this for so long? Why did you keep it a secret for so long? Why did you shove it down for so long? Because I think in doing that, it caused quite a bit of depression. I think it's actually been a big source of your depression for a long time. Let's clarify the Four of Swords here. Yeah, so I think in taking the action to help yourself heal, maybe whether it was taking a break, if it was stepping away from the world, I think you taking the action and understanding that that's what needed to be done and making the call, the fucking judgment call, and saying, hey, I have to take care of this, I have to do this, or I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen if I don't look at this, but I have to fix it. I have to do it now. I think that was very wise. Let's clarify. Okay. Ten of Swords in reverse with the Five of Swords. I think too, for a long time, maybe part of the biggest struggle was the fact of, with the Five of Swords and the fact that he's holding on to the Three of Swords, the hurt, the pain, maybe there was this cycle of you not wanting to let it go. Even though it was done. It was dead as dirt. There's no going back, no changing it. You wanted to hold on to the pain. Because holding on to the pain helped define who you were. I'm going to say were because I think you're changing. clarify the Five of Cups. We have the Fool. We have Justice. We have the Hanged Man in reverse. And we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah. I think, too, there is a sense in the Five of Cups of, you know, with this remorse, with this release, comes this whole new way of viewing life. I think with the Fool, Justice, Hanged Man in reverse, and the Queen of Cups, it's this whole new leap of faith, embarking on this new journey, on this new path, finally understanding what things are, what they look like, why they had to happen, and the part that you played in it, becoming highly enlightened to that. I mean, this is waking up. This is seeing things very clearly, seeing things for what they really are. And then emotionally integrating that and really understanding it, really looking at it. The Queen of Cups really looks at her emotions. And I think, too, in this whole new way forward, it's you looking at your emotions and observing them in a way that they don't bleed into everything else in your life. The Queen of Cups has control. She knows how to handle her shit while handling other people's shit at the same time. Let's clarify the Devil in reverse here. We have the World card. So yeah, big completion of cycles of behaviors that really fucked you up and held you back. Kiss that shit goodbye. And if you haven't, you should be. Or at least working on it. Let's clarify the Moon here. Yeah, with the Moon and the Two of Pentacles, I feel like there could be two different beginnings here, or it could be you trying to do the whole bargaining thing. It's like in the 5 stages of grief, right? When you're letting something go, when you're really releasing something, you enter this phase that is the bargaining phase. It's the toss-up. It's saying, okay, well, I can still do this. If I let this go, but I still do this, only sometimes it's okay. I think that's maybe the phase that some of you will be in for a time period. It's just, you're still juggling some things. I think you're still trying to figure it out. I think you're trying to honestly balance out what the new life could look like with letting go of these behaviors, but still maybe maintaining certain aspects of maybe the environment, maybe the people that were involved. But I think at the end of the day, with the Queen of Swords and the Hermit, you're really going to have to take a time out. And I think you're going to have to understand that in order to have this really emotionally fulfilling new beginning where you can move forward, you're going to have to cut some stuff out. And I think it's going to be difficult. But it's almost like the Hermit understands why. He understands cycles. He understands nature. He understands life. Sorry, I just had this weird image of this clock and like watching it just tick really slowly, and then it stopped. I think for some of you out there, it's not that time is running out, but I feel like you feel that way. It's like, if I don't change this, I feel like I'm getting really emotional too. If I don't change this, what's going to happen? Honestly, I really do think you'd be sacrificing a big part of your happiness. Yeah. Yeah. That's some tough love right there. And I think it's tough love with the self. I mean, it could be other people having tough love with you, but that's tough love with the self. Yeah, I think you're really having to let some stuff go. It's gonna hurt. I'm not even gonna lie. It's gonna fucking hurt. Because these are things that have been a part of your life for a really long time. But something has to change. Something's got to give. I mean, the ship will sink if it doesn't. So moving forward in the Six of Swords, you have to work with temperance, and you have to be patient with yourself. You have to be patient with others. Because if you're going to get stable, like the Queen of Pentacles, this is going to take some time. And you're really going to have to nurture this. You're going to have to nurture what's happening. You're going to have to nurture what is going on in your world and these changes that you're making. Because if you keep doing the bargaining thing, you're not going to be able to actually fully focus. The Queen of Pentacles only has one fucking pentacle that she's dedicated her energy into. It's not that she can't have two, it's that she needs to choose the one that's going to help her be stable. So I think it's time for, I mean, I understand the bargaining aspect. I get it. 5 stages of grief fucking suck. It never goes in sequential order. It is always all over the place. It's different for everybody. But I think with the bargaining aspect, I think you're just going to have to get really real with yourself. Like I said, it's going to be some tough love. And I think it's tough love with yourself. And I think you're going to have to go deep within to really understand that. Because the thing that I see here with the King of Cups and the Moon, it's almost like if you stay in this level of emotional uncertainty, or even fantasy, or even just a realm of not even allowing yourself to be in reality, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, right? But I mean, it's quite possible that if you're not going to be repeating the same cycles, it could be more intense cycles that are going to really cause you to like look at this shit head on in really difficult ways. So let's look at the overall energy here. We have receive, cycles, home, beneath, examine, and present, with the final card being Earth on the bottom of the deck. So like I said, I think you need to be open to receiving whatever healing is available to you at this time. I think examining these cycles and what's going on beneath the surface at the end of the day, especially if it had to deal with any sort of home issues in the past, or maybe even, I mean, shit, this could still be going on. There could still be very strong present issues around the home, around family, around things that happened. Maybe you're repeating cycles that your family repeated. Maybe, you know, if you grew up in a household full of alcoholics, maybe you're an alcoholic. If you grew up in a household full of people on drugs, maybe you've struggled with it your whole life. Maybe you have addiction issues. Maybe it is what it is, right? Maybe if you watch somebody, like a parent, get married 6 or 7 times, you have a really hard time creating a stable relationship, because you saw somebody just treat relationships as if they were expendable. So this is all about being present. You've got to be present in this moment in time and make the best decisions for you each day to get out of the experience of what has been causing you pain. It is the only way you're going to get grounded. It's the only way you're going to have your feet on solid ground, on the earth. Because if you continue allowing your emotions to control you and overflow, you're going to be drowning, right? And when you start drowning, you grab onto the only thing that you know, the only thing that you think is going to preserve you and save you, and that's these behaviors. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking difficult, guys. I understand. Trust me. I'm not this person who dances around in white, throwing flowers everywhere, acting like the sun shines out of my ass and that something's going to save me every day. This being alive and being human is really fucking hard. Dealing with other people is really hard. Facing the shit that we do to ourselves is even harder. Because nobody likes to admit that they fuck up. Nobody likes to admit their shortcomings. Nobody likes to admit that they either intentionally set out to hurt someone or that they knowingly did certain things that did end up really hurting someone, or even themselves, or even their family members, or even their friends. To me, there is nothing shittier in this world than the feeling of doing something knowing that you shouldn't. Or doing something and knowing that you know better. Or doing something and knowing what it's going to do. It sucks. So I'm going to pull a 3-card final message for what can we expect to come into our lives. What are our blessings? What are we receiving that's positive? Other than this whole healing process and leaving behind this bullshit that we've been doing to ourselves, what is the positive outcome? We have the Wheel of Fortune, changing of cycles, entering into a luckier, happier phase. 9 of Wands, we might be receiving it with some hesitation because we don't trust it. And then we have the Chariot and the 10 of Cups. Look at that shit. That is beautiful. I think we have to persevere through the energy of thinking that things are going to continue going the same if we change, still feeling that way. Because I don't think that's the case. I think that if we really face this dead on and make the choices we need to make and move forward, you know, really understanding what it is that we need to do, happiness is there. Fulfillment is there. Overcoming the obstacle is there. And ending the cycles that are very difficult is there. If you feel like all you've been doing is reading or writing the same fucking story over and over again and it ends the same way every time, you might need to address some things. Because trust me, at some point, I don't know if it's the other people around you. You might have to be looking at who's writing the story. You want a different outcome? Do something different. Trust me, I feel like I've been beating my head into a brick wall trying to figure that shit out for decades. And every time that I do think I do something different, I still come up against some difficult things. And I realize that I haven't changed. Or I realize that there are still some behaviors that I hold on to. And then I get really wonderful people, you know, that I get to experience situations with in my life who teach me the difference. And what I need to do. And what I haven't done. So thank you for joining me. This has been the collective energy reading for Pluto going direct. You know, I love you. All of you out there, I love you. Even sometimes when I hate you, I love you. I think it's really easy for us to get frustrated with each other, but equally to really see the beauty in each other as well. I think it is what it is. That's life, right? If you would like a personal reading, you can contact me at delicatetensiontarot@gmail.com. That is in the description box below, as well as my Instagram at delicatetension. You can follow me there for daily collective energy reads, as well as other content. I usually upload any updates with my YouTube channel on there as well. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and stay tuned because I will have the playlist for the first 2 weeks of October for each sign up. And I will also be doing a full moon reading for the full moon in Aries for collective energy, as well as each sign separately. So just stay tuned and I'll keep you posted. If you did enjoy this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.